my Zoom stuff. But today since we had it at 11, she wasn't able to show up. So bear with me if I don't get some of the things. Hello, I don't know your name. So
Me?
yeah, hi, what's your name?
Doris.
Hi, Doris. Where are you from?
I live in Miami, but I'm from Germany.
Nice. You live in Miami, Florida?
Yeah,
Oh, I bet it's beautiful there today.
sunny. Yes.
So I'm going to start out by telling a story. That way, if anybody else comes, they're not going to miss the good stuff. And my name's Raven, and this is growingbigin.love.com, and that's also the name of my business, and so the name of my book. The story is about a lady named Dot. About 20 years ago, she called me up and she was really scared. She had this cyst that had been growing in her throat for about a year. And her doctor and her acupressurist said that she needed to have that surgically removed. And it was a really, really difficult surgery because it would have left her scarred on the outside and the inside of her throat. And one of her friends told her about me, said she should come see me and see if we could do something. So when she called, I says, "Well, come over and we'll look into it and see what happens." So when she came, the cyst was so big you could see it. It was like protruding out of her throat, and it was hard, like on your elbow. If you touched it, it was really hard. And so I had her tell me about her history of how her parents disciplined her, and then we I got her to relax, and I asked her to ask herself we asked her guides to help as well, and we asked her to say, what is causing this pain in my throat? And after about 30 seconds, she had this vision of when she was 8 years old. She had done something that her father misunderstood. And so she went to stand up for herself, and her father shut her down so violently that she was never able to speak up for herself from that day. And when she came to see me, she was 42 years old. So there was a lot of people in her life that were abusing her because she didn't know how to speak up for herself. So I asked her to teach me the way the worst one treated her. And then I asked her permission to treat her that way, and maybe she'd be able to speak up. Well, I started treating her that way, and she just came out. It was like a volcano exploding. She's like, and this, and this, and this, and this. It was like she just exploded all over. And so what I did was I spent some time teaching her about the love tools, and I showed her how to establish healthy boundaries with people and how to do that in a loving way so that she's not like going after these people. And when she left, she looked like a different person. Well, 2 weeks later, she came back and she had gone to every single person that was abusing her and set up good boundaries and changed the relationship with all of them. And her cyst had shrank to almost half the size, and it was soft, like on your palm. So she worked with me for another 6 weeks, and I taught her about the love tools. I taught her how to grow love into her life. And after 3 or 4 months, she started having spontaneous love experiences. And 9 months later, the cyst was completely gone. So that's how I work with people. And I've helped people heal almost any kind of trauma that you can think of. And I'm going to explain that process a little bit today. But the main thing that we're talking about today is this kind of transformation becomes possible when you begin to experience love, not as a distant idea, but as an innate, intimate, living, breathing presence walking within you. And So the class is about learning how to develop a very intimate relationship with spirit. I call spirit love. There's hundreds and thousands of different names for um, that is creating all of us. So I hope you guys feel comfortable with me referring to that being or beings as love. So um, again, my name is Raven, and Growing Big in Love has four basic fundamental things happening. So what I've been doing over the years is I'm a teacher, I'm a speaker, I'm a master healer, and I've been studying love all of my life. And so the foundation of growing big in love, there's four things. It's developing an intimate relationship with spirit. There are 7 love tools that takes a person about 2 to 3 months to totally integrate into their life, which enables them to focus on love every moment of the day. Can you imagine what that would do for you? It's pretty cool. There is the love healing process, which is the process that I was using with Dot to help people understand how their trauma manifests. Their trauma manifests through their unloving beliefs, and every unloving beliefs have habits that go with it. So by using the love healing process, you can heal one belief at a time and the habits that go with it in about a week to 2 weeks. Every time you do that, you get healthier, happier, stronger, more aware, and more intelligent. And so this process is something that you do on your own on a daily basis, like 4 or 5 days a week. And by doing that, your life just keeps getting better and better and better. Now, what makes all three of those possible is there are 12 key concepts. You can find 10 of the key concepts in my book called Growing Big in Love. And there are 12 key concepts on the website. The ones on the website are a little bit smaller version than what's in the book. Most of the ones in the book have a whole chapter dedicated to them. And these are concepts, big concepts like a new understanding of the mind, a new understanding of how memory works, a new understanding of how karma works. There are 2 concepts called love reversal and love reversal loops that are so amazingly big that once the world understands these clearly, it will change the way people think about healing all around the world. I'm going to tell you a little bit later about what a love reversal is so that you can understand what I mean by that. So that's the fundamentals. My passion is helping people build a really deep, intimate relationship with spirit. It's my favorite class to teach because what can come of it is just extraordinary. I've had a relationship with spirit directly, intimately since I was 32 and I'm 65. And that relationship has made it possible for Growing Big in Love to be what it is. You had a question, Marianne?
I've had a relationship with spirit since I was 5.
Nice. That is awesome. So this class can help you maybe make it more intimate or add to it. But that is amazing. Can I ask how you do they like speak to you or?
It's always different, and it's sometimes it's present and sometimes it's not throughout my life. Um, but I had a drowning incident when I was 5 in Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
and that was my first experience. My second experience that I recall is when my grandmother died, and I don't know how old I was. I was little, and I came downstairs so excited to tell my mom that Bubba came and got me, and we flew over the fields and we went to her house, and she was just hanging up the phone that she had died.
Wow. That's awesome. That's truly awesome. Okay, so people come to this class because they're interested in something more, like more love to feel, more joy to experience, more healing, more freedom, more magic waiting to be discovered. And today you'll be invited to take your first step into growing a bigger life by learning how to get bigger in love, like spiritually. When you are proactively adding love into your life, you start getting bigger spiritually. Bigger, your body, spiritual body gets bigger and bigger. And that's one of the key parts to making it possible for people to heal the trauma that they have. So I'm going to start off by telling you about the first. Yes, Marianne.
If you're still in a very traumatic situation, can you get through it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to start off by telling you about the Earth's objective. Earth's objective is stated clearly is we are here to learn how to act and react in love no matter what happens. Everything about growing big in love is based on that sentence. So by looking at it objectively, the whole planet has been created as a big school for us to learn that idea, to learn how to act and react in love no matter what. And what's behind that is that all humans, well, not all humans, but most humans are new creations. They came out of nowhere, so to speak, and God made them into who they are, or spirit or love makes them into who they are. And when they get intelligent enough to learn how to think for themselves, which is where we're at, they're introduced into this kind of world that uses pain as a method of moving people forward. Like the basics of pain is that, like, you have hunger, and because you're hungry, it's like you want to go find a way to get some food. It gets a young being, a new soul, to move. The only reason for pain is to get a person to go the other way towards love. That's the only reason that we have pain. Pain manifests in so many different ways because it helps us become intelligent by learning how to deal with it. And so the love healing process enables people to understand their pain so that they can find the truth about what's really happening. Every single unloving belief that we have inside of us is a type of pain. They come from the emotions of hatred and fear and hurt and guilt and shame. And so every unloving belief that's inside of us is there to teach us how to learn a way to get more intelligent, happier, healthier, and to have a better life. So this is Earth's objective. And again, this is what Growing Big in Love is completely based on. So what I want to start off with to help you understand how we get bigger is the power of a loving smile. So I'm going to ask you guys, good, good. You guys are easy. So, so you both already have a big smile. I want you to smile even bigger. Your teeth showing is great. Now, without changing anything about your smile, see if you can make yourself feel sad. Don't change your smile. Isn't that weird?
Can't do it.
You can do it. All right, make your smile even bigger. We're going to try one more. Big smile, like make yourself feel silly. See if you can make yourself feel angry. Isn't that a trip? You can't do it. That's called the loving smile principle. And it is one of the most powerful spiritual tools we have available to us. Now, you would think that people would know this, but they don't. Most people have been using a loving smile as a reaction to things that make them feel good, and that's great. Keep doing that for the rest of your life. But what the loving smile principle shows us is that when we're smiling from ear to ear, our spiritual heart is open. And the spiritual heart is what controls our ability to feel love or pain. If our heart is open, we can feel every kind of love there is, and it is amazing. If our heart is closed, we can feel every kind of pain, and that hurts. And it's always there to move us towards love. And that will make more sense as we learn the metaphysics of how beliefs work and what love reversals are and love reversal loops. But we'll get to that in a minute. So it's really important to understand that when you smile from ear to ear and you're feeling love, that your heart is open, because for healing, that is a really big deal. And that'll become more obvious in a minute. The second thing is, because we've been using a loving smile as a reaction, that's great. But now that we understand by smiling, we open our hearts, we can start using it proactively. And we call that love time. So the loving smile is the first loving tool, and love time is the second loving tool. And what we mean by love time is like you set up a time, an amount of time, like say, we're going to do an experiment here in a minute where we're going to go for 2 minutes. So for 2 minutes, you try to make yourself feel the most love you can possibly feel. When you are doing that, your spiritual body is actually getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what enables you to heal the trauma that you've experienced in your life. Have you ever heard of the idea where people are trying to work on themselves and they go into a really deep trauma and they get re-traumatized? You ever heard of that before? Well, in some healing work, that happens. We help people not have that experience by teaching them how to grow in love first. By learning to make it a practice on a daily basis to get bigger and bigger in love, you're able to get bigger and bigger than your traumas, which makes it easier to go back and heal them, because then you're not afraid that you're going to get taken back in. You're not going to get taken over by fear or taken over by rage or taken over by guilt, because you're getting bigger and bigger in love. It's a strength that's inside you that it's just amazing to have. Okay, so that's two things. The loving smile lets you know that your heart is open. It enables you to proactively add love in your life. The third thing is, when you are in a really big loving state, when you're feeling love a lot, it enables you to know the truth about almost anything. And that is super big when it comes to the healing process. Because what we find is that all of our unloving beliefs, none of them are true. They will seem true right up until the point where you understand they are not. And once you understand they are not, then is all you have to do is heal the habits that you had that goes with that belief, and then that belief is history. It'll never bug you for the rest of your life. So another thing is that when you're really big in love and you can access the truth, that's also what we call our intuition. So if you ever want to access your intuition, get silly happy and you'll be in it. So those are the three things that make the loving smile one of the most powerful tools that we have available to us. And it is the foundation of growing big in love. It is the foundation of making your spiritual body bigger and bigger and bigger. And we use it through all of the tools. So, okay, so that's that part. So now I'm going to talk about, 1 second, please. Now I'm going to talk about the way that pain manifests inside of us. And there's three metaphysical phenomena that follow metaphysical properties, and they work all the time. So the first one I'm going to ask you, we're just going to talk about unloving beliefs. What I'd like you guys to do is to think of something that in the past 3 days that made you feel frustrated, angry, or upset. If you go back 3 days and didn't have any of that, go back to a place where you did. And what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to say go, and I want you to relive that experience for just 5 seconds. And I want you to feel, where does the pain show up in your body? Does that make sense? You both have something? Go. Stop. Where did the pain show up? In your head?
Yeah.
Where did it show up for you? Oh, I'm sorry. I can't remember your name.
Me?
Yes,
Doris.
Doris. Thank you, Doris. Where did it show up for you, Doris?
In my head.
Oh, both of you, it showed up in your head. Okay. Now, we're going to do it one more time. Whatever emotion that you used, I want you to think of a different kind of experience that creates the same emotion in you. And we're going to try it again. And I want you to see if the pain shows up in the same spot. An example would be like, say I was standing in a long line and I saw someone get in front of everybody else and it made me frustrated. Let's say that's one way of feeling frustration. Another way to feel the same kind of frustration would be like, my boss calls me up on the phone and starts reaming me out for something I didn't even do. So I start getting frustrated, right? So there's two different things. Does that make sense? So I'm going to say go again, and you guys relive those and see if it shows up in the same place or a different place. Go. Stop. Where did this one show up?
Well, in my belly.
Your belly? And for you, Marianne?
My chest.
Your chest. Now, isn't it fascinating how fast the pain showed up? In both experiences, it's almost immediate, right?
As you're talking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so that's the way unloving beliefs work inside of us. Anytime we have an unloving belief, as we're going through our day, if we get triggered, we feel that pain. And every time we get triggered, we feel that pain. So what you find is that everybody has literally hundreds of unloving beliefs inside of them. And as they are going through life, they get triggered. The more they get triggered, the worse it hurts. And what we'll find is those unloving beliefs are actually what creates disease, accidents, unhealthy conditions like sore knees and sore backs and things like that, general pain. And so by learning how to heal those beliefs, we learn how to heal ourselves. And that's what we did with Dot. So Dot had a belief, I'm afraid to speak up for myself. And as soon as she understood that she had the power inside of her to be loving and big, then that belief wasn't true anymore. And she was able to reestablish healthy boundaries and her pain went away. All unloving beliefs are like that. When you get really big in love, you can discover why they are not true. And the truth sets you free. So you can see how the loving smile, by learning how to smile more and more and more, it accesses you to the truth, which enables to set you free from your unloving beliefs. Okay, so the unloving beliefs is one level. Now I'm going to talk about the next level. Hi, Tiffany. Now I'm going to talk about the next level. It's called a love reversal. So a love reversal happens when a person experiences an unloving act many times a day after day, week after week, month after month. As time goes on, that unloving act becomes so normal that they can actually misconstrue it as love. So I'm going to give you an example. Say a parent had a child and the parent yelled and screamed and hit the child all day long, every day. That's the way that's the way that parent had been treated all her childhood. And now she's doing the same thing to her child. And that child is experiencing being terrified by afraid to get hit, afraid to get yelled at. Everything's always terror, terror, terror. As that child grows into themselves, they would actually attract people to abuse them in almost the identical way the parent has abused them, because that has become normal. Now, the reason it becomes normal is because anytime a person experiences shock, where they experience a trauma, they go into shock. And part of the shock is numbing that person's body. That numbing part is what keeps us protected a little bit. But if the child is experiencing trauma all day long, their body becomes numb all the time. And that's what creates a love reversal. And as they grow into themselves, they will misconstrue, or they could misconstrue the abuse as love so much that if a loving person comes into their life, they might shy away from them because it feels so weird to them. So love reversals are by naming love reversals, it enables us to study them because there's a lot to be learned about them. Every single argument, every fight, every war has happened because of a love reversal. Because the people that are doing it are so numb, they don't know that they're doing it. In fact, they will think that they are right when they are acting. They will feel justified because they feel like they're right in acting the way that they're acting. And anytime a person feels justified, they're about to hurt somebody else or themselves. So this is how strong love reversals are. And unless a person understands the concept of love reversals, it's really hard to step away from that pattern because they don't see the unloving part in themselves. It's real easy to see it in someone else, but in your own self, it's very difficult to see it because to you, it's just normal. Here again, this is where Growing Big in Love helps people learn how to start the healing process. When their spiritual body gets bigger and bigger and bigger, it enables to them to see, hey, I just acted in a way that's not loving. It felt right, but it wasn't loving. And so we'll find in our lives that we act and react in weird ways and we don't know why. And this is why, because love reversals are very present in our life. They're a metaphysical structure, just like the unloving beliefs. Okay, that's two levels. So we have unloving beliefs and we have love reversals. There is an element called a love reversal loop that is even stronger than love reversals. And what causes love reversal loops is when a person experiences so much trauma when they're young that is all they know. A love reversal loop can become so strong that that person will take the emotion of the abuse into them and use it as if it's part of the way the world works. So let me give you an example. my parents used to spank, my mother used to spank me on a daily basis, and my father would beat me, like insanely beat me. So I grew up being absolutely terrified to make a mistake. That terror was so deep that I never found it until like 3 years ago when Spirit helped me understand loops. I was so terrified all the time that I literally lived out of my terror. So one of the really cool things about learning about this love healing process is that we're going to find that beneath each unloving belief, the emotion that is created, whether it's hatred, rage, guilt, all of those emotions are actually teaching us something about how to get bigger in love. So terror, when a person is in terror, what's happening is they are hyper aware. So a person that's in terror all the time becomes super intelligent because they are always trying to figure out how to keep themselves alive. Or to keep from getting beat, or to keep from getting molested, whatever it is. That terror, even though they're experiencing it all the time, enables them to become more intelligent and more aware because they're in it all the time. So it was so much a part of me that it was like I didn't know how to think of anything not being terrified. Like all of my thoughts followed terror. And I was always double checking, triple checking, making sure my life was the way it was supposed to be. That's how I become super smart. And once I found out that the love reversal loop was there, I was able to step away from it. The only way a person can step away from a love reversal loop is if they understand the metaphysics, because it is like it's part of you. It feels like that's who you are. So we have unloving beliefs, love reversals, love reversal loops. Those are what we're always working with in order to grow into being who we are. Our experiences, all the trauma that we've experienced, has made us who we are. Us moving out of the trauma is going to enable us to live a life that has only been dreamed of up until now. My life is very much like that. I feel so much love. I have so much intimacy with my guides, with love. It's incredible. I have 5 students that have been doing this process for over 2 years. One of them has been doing it for 6 years, and her life is like a fairy tale. She's having so much fun with her life. So this is what I want to share with you guys in the classes. What I'm going to be trying to promote today is what's called the Love Journey course, which is a paid class. It's a 2-week class, and you'll get homework like 7 days. So it's like actually like a 14-day class, but there's only 2 classes that are online. But I'll talk about that more later. The class is what helps you integrate all this new information into your life. It is fun. Okay. Now we get to the, I was going to have you guys do a love time for 2 minutes. So this is an experience where I'm going to say go, and I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes, and I want you to do anything at all that makes you feel the most love you can possibly feel. And you can run around, you can sing, you can do whatever you want. But for 2 minutes, make yourself feel the most love you can possibly feel. Everybody got it? Go.
Emotional.
It was emotional. What did you do to make yourself feel love?
I smelled my partner's pillow.
Oh, oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. What about you, Doris?
Oh, I was thinking being in the mountains, going on a hike. That would make me
They
happy.
have mountains in Miami?
No, in Tennessee. I have a house there.
That's cool. Very cool. You want to share, Tiffany?
Oh, I just thought of my daughters and remembering my first daughter, my first baby, when she was like maybe 2 months old, the first time she could make eye contact with me and smile. It was so sweet.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing, all three of you. Jasmine, you're not here, so if you want to share, you can. You can share on chat. Um, so Love Time is the second love tool, and we recommend that when people get into this program that you do 10 minutes a day to start off with. If you do 7 days in a row for 10 days, you'll be blown away at what happens to your life because love is really powerful and it changes things fast. Um, the all the tools that follow are there's two more of them that enable people to grow their spiritual bodies bigger. When a person can learn how to meditate, which is not thinking, that's when I say meditation, that's what I mean. It's not thinking, it's a state of being without thought. If you're smiling really big and meditating, that is one of the most powerful states you can be in. Once you learn that, we have you learn it with your eyes open, and then you can meditate going throughout your day, and that is very powerful. And when you can learn to meditate for 3 minutes at a time with your eyes open, doing stuff, that's called gliding. And it is one of the most powerful things you can do. So gliding is literally growing your spiritual body bigger and bigger and bigger all the time. And that's one of the best ways for you to learn how to get more intimate with spirit, for you to learn how to see and understand the unloving parts of yourself, and for just to have fun. It's like we recommend you start off 10 minutes a day. The second week, we go up to 20 minutes. The third week, we go up to 30 minutes. After 2 months, you're up to like 2.5 hours of love time, which means you're doing 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here, 10 minutes here. You're learning how to become playful in all areas of your life. And it's fun. And it's exciting. And the more you do it, the more you open to the ways that you can share love in your life with yourself, with spirit, and with all of your friends and family. Okay, so now we're going to get to the part of deepening your relationship with the spirit. I discovered how to talk with spirit when I was 32. I had a girlfriend that I thought was going to become my mate, and I'd been with her for 2 weeks, and I was sitting in her living room, sitting down to meditate, and she got on the other side and she started using a pendulum. And she goes, "Oh, do you mind if I do this?" And I'm like, "Do what?" She goes, "This is how I talk to God." And I'm like, so I watched her, and I've been very clairsensitive all my life, so I could tell she was definitely connected to spirit. And I'm like, so how do you do it? And she goes, well, I move it back and forth, and I ask questions, and if it turns clockwise, it means yes, and if it turns counterclockwise, it means no. And so I got a pendulum, and I started using it, and I became a pendulum junkie. I asked questions about everything. Like, oh my God, it was the most amazing thing I had ever experienced. Within 2 weeks, I learned about love reversals. There was like, I'd been studying the mind for all my 20s, and I found there was 2 parts of the mind that were missing, and I found what those parts were by using the pendulum. So now we have a complete understanding, a new understanding of how the mind works. I also started using tarot cards. I liked tarot cards because it would give me information that I hadn't thought of before. And I liked the pendulum because you got instant information, like you just have to ask the question. After a couple of years, I started realizing I was getting the answer before the pendulum even moved. And so since then, I haven't needed the pendulum, and they talk to me just the way I'm talking to you. It is amazing. So we're going to do, well, let's talk a little bit about proximity. Where is spirit? So if you take your finger and you move it from there to there, what had to happen was electrical impulses had to come from your brain, go through your nerves to the right tendons and muscles. They had to be exactly the right amount of charge to pull your tendons and muscles for that movement to be smooth and precise. Every single movement was an electrical charge that came from your mind. None of us really know how we do this. It's obvious that it's being done for us. They're beating our hearts. They're blinking our eyes. Our digestive systems and our cleansing systems are working without us even thinking about it. We have these beautiful faces, and these beautiful skin, and we have thoughts and emotions and feelings, and we don't know how we do any of it. We don't even know how to create one atom. All of it is being done for us right here. When you're looking into your eyes in the mirror, you are seeing spirit. She is inside of you. She's creating you. She's thinking you. When you talk, it's her. They're giving you the experience of life. And when you get that, you realize that you have never been alone, ever. They are right here. They are right here. If you're hugging yourself, you're hugging her.
Sometimes there are others.
Oh, yeah, there's lots. I mean, we have a star. All of space is love, all of it. There is no such thing as nothing. Light is love, dark is love, cold, warm, feelings, everything is love manifest. And she is moving all the time. We are always in a state of moving. Now, I want you guys to close your eyes. And I want you to think of you slept a really good sleep and you woke up feeling really good, really wonderful. And you hear in your mind, "Good morning, beautiful. What would you like to do today?" And then you both start talking about the things that you could do today, and you start feeling into what's going to be the first thing. And before you get started, if you don't have this already, I want you to ask her or him, whatever way it works for you, or them. Say, could you please give me an experience of a sensation on or in my body that's you telling me that I love you? If you got a sensation or you didn't, if you didn't, then I like try it later on in the day, like maybe before you go to sleep or when you wake up tomorrow. But ask them to use this sensation to tell you that they love you all the time. They've been doing that to me all my adult life. They do it through different sensations inside of me. And most people receive a sensation. If you want to share, you can.
Kind of like a off balance talk inside, kind of pulling a little to the left and to the right, but good, but not in a bad way, off balance. Kind of just a vortex.
And so they can use that every day to help you say, that's them saying, "I love you." It's just them checking in. And if you want, you can ask them to do that. So there are lots of different ways to get more intimate with spirit. It's healthy and easy to do gratify, to be grateful for things, to like spend time being grateful, like a few minutes, just thankful for all the things you have in your life. There's times where you can just, if you put a big smile on your face and you just look at the wonder of everything that's happening. It's like the room that you're sitting in right now. Spirit is the walls, they're the nails, they're the air in between the walls, they're the roof, they're they're the metal, they're the wood. It's like they they are everywhere helping you have this extraordinary experience of being alive. And obviously you've been taken care of all the way up to this point in your life because you're still here. Anytime you want to really connect with spirit, the loving smile is the best way to do that. I've had students that are so stubborn. They're trying to, they're like, I keep asking and I'm not getting an answer. And I'm like, look at your face. They're so serious. I'm like, you have to smile. So serious is a love reversal habit. It makes us think like we're doing the thing that we're supposed to do to get where we want to go. Let that go. Being silly happy is what's going to get you what you want in your life. Because when you are silly happy, you are experiencing what love is here to do in the first place. Our lives should be fun, they should be exciting, they should be powerful, they should be creative. And when you're smiling ear to ear, you're making that happen. So that's all I have time for today, except I want to tell you about my Love Journey course. At the heart of growing big in love is a calling, one that goes beyond personal healing. We are not just here to heal ourselves, we are here to help transform the world. If we want to usher the age of knowing, where love is guiding force in every moment, we must first embody the love fully. That's why the Love Journey course is not just another class, it's a movement. It's a path to breaking free from pain, unloving beliefs, love reversals and loops, and the habits that keep us stuck. But the only way to make that shift is to personally and globally commit to doing the time that it takes to learn how these things work. So I have to ask you, what's an hour a day worth to you? An hour a day to rewire your mind for love so you can stop reacting from fear and pain. An hour a day to develop an unshakable connection with love so that you know you're never alone. She's right here. An hour a day to build a foundation strong enough to heal your deepest wounds. An hour a day to step into the person you were born to be and help lead the way forward for the people in this world. That's what we're doing here. That's what you're being invited to join. So the Love Journey course, it's a 2 weeks, 1 hour a day, and it's a lifetime of transformation. It begins on Thursday, June 5th, and the next class is on June 12th at 6:00 p.m. Pacific time. It's live, it's interactive, and deeply personal. If you show up, do the work, and commit to growing in love, you will change your life a lot. So, some people ask, what will you do for an hour a day? This is different for everyone. In the beginning, mostly we ask you to read. My book, Growing Big in Love, is 380 pages. It's written in layman's terms. It's a how-to book. You can get it free on the website. You just go to the website and download it. It's a free PDF copy. You don't have to give any information or anything. We just give it to you freely. So there's also a lot of information on the website. All the key concepts are really amazing. There is a message directly from love called the Love Message, or it's called Love's Message. And if you go on the website and go to, I forgot the heading, it's the second one, and scroll down, it says Love's Message. And that, just reading that could change your life. If you go to the end of the key concepts, there's a blog about the age of knowing, which is what I believe we are walking into. And that thing is a very long writing that's a direct download of love telling about how Earth is here and why it's here, and it's very big. So those two things by themselves are extraordinary. And then after a person reads all of that information, they'll want to go back and figure out which love tools to use in their life. Then they'll want to start learning how to do the love healing process. And the love healing process takes time to learn. There's a lot to it. Once you understand how it works, then you start using it on a daily basis. You want to use it for at least 40 minutes a day, at least 4 days a week. 5 days is better. It's always good to take a couple days off. What do you do on those days off? Plan on having dates with love. Do find ways to make your life just rocking exciting. That's the goal. So again, it's 2 weeks, live interactive classes, starts on June 5th and 12th, and it's at 6 o'clock to 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Cost $180. You pay the $180. As soon as you pay the $180, you'll get sent an email that will show you homework that you can do until the course starts. And that's what I have. That's it. I will stay here and answer any questions for those of you that have questions. I also work with people one-on-one if anybody's interested in that. I do amazing healing work. And you can go to the courses headline and go to the bottom, and you can set up appointments with me. And that's it. So I'm going to turn off the record button, but I'm going to stay here and